Bill,
Dry.
Yeah, I think it's you got to watch Stephen Wright's hair and all too. It makes it part of the
Adds to it.
the ambiance.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, we got
That's great.
Bring us in, Bill.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
Do your job.
We're going to, for some people, people have forgotten me because I miss some here and there.
Nobody forgets you.
But-
nobody ever forgets you.
Well, I heard the numbers.
They forget Bill.
The numbers when I were really up when I wasn't on it. So
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Outside
And you came
the
back
Sanctuary.
anyway.
Yes.
You guys, I'm trying to
Sorry,
do an
I'm so
opening.
sorry.
Holy
He's
cow.
Bill Merck. And I'm Pastor Vince McDonald.
I didn't even get go.
I'm sorry. The event whistle.
Katrina McDonald.
There we go. So basically, this is
Daughter-in-law.
going to be like,
The lovely Katrina.
it's like, come on to the table. I don't even have our waters.
Right.
Did
I
you?
have it over there.
Oh.
I do. I
How
have it.
dare you?
I do. But
Okay.
I
good.
think
it's
you're
on the
lacking
table. What?
motivation.
No. Really? They already read the title, so they know what
we
it's
should
about.
talk about that.
Good job. Good job.
It'd be cooler if you said it in the last podcast.
Yes.
Mm.
It's always good, to launch with a Seinfeld, and you talk about the various means of motivation.
Mhm.
And Pastor Greg was just going through this with me the other day with the episode where this woman just hates George. And George says, Jerry, she hates me so much. It's irresistible. So he was motivated by that. So anyhow, we're going to be talking about motivation. What motivates you? And there's so many when you really start to dig into this. And as you start talking, you're going to see there's so many motivating factors in life. And we're going to eventually
totally going pastor speech right now. You're in your pastor
ready.
voice.
I'm ready.
Dude,
Yeah.
Hey,
I was about to pull out the Bible. Where are we looking?
This way, what I'm watching the Eagles.
Right. Yeah, right.
I'll say to Greta, this is ridiculous. The guy was wide open. Anyhow.
And she's going, I
Do
know.
unto
I saw the
others
whole
as
thing.
you would have them.
Okay, let me talk in my normal voice.
Oh, can you imagine if that's how he talked?
I wish it was.
I wouldn't be here.
I would not.
Just
I don't think
FYI.
he would be a.
But anyhow,
Successful pastor.
all I was going to say was,
Go for it, brother.
if you can launch us, I was just going to say this is going to be
launch
fun because
away.
everybody gets to share their own, some throw out thoughts here or there. But all I was saying was that one of the things that we always, yes, you're right. I have that pastoral approach that reminding the audience that we try to tie this into
It's okay.
scripture. And it's going to be interesting to
It's a church
see
podcast.
Yeah.
the many ways,
You're allowed
You are
to
a pastor.
preach.
the many
That's a good job.
ways we can be motivated
Shut
Yeah.
up.
as a believer. And then,
Yeah.
of course, the top one. But so, Katrina,
Yeah.
what
Hello.
motivates you?
Ooh.
Anything.
I actually
Doesn't
had
have to be
to
the
ask
top
when-
thing. Doesn't have to be the top
You had to ask your husband what
I'm
motivates
just a
you.
wife.
Yes.
Like, what do you
sometimes
want from me?
outside-
Get out of here.
Sometimes you need an outside
I do.
perspective.
Yeah.
I
And
asked Lisa too.
I knew he was going to, well, she's the smart one, so you would. But I knew what he was going to say. And he said, Jesus, my wife, and my kids.
There you go.
And it sometimes it's as simple as that. And other
Right.
times when you dig in, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper if you peel back the layers. But
Exactly, because he's mentioning relationships.
Mhm.
So what is it really that's motivating him? Is it love?
Mhm.
So if I just shout out some words and say
Mhm.
fear,
Mhm.
guilt,
Mhm.
anger, what motivates a terrorist?
Mhm.
Revenge. But I mean, they're like to get our minds
Yeah.
going. Now I'm using all the bad ones, but
No, it's good. I think love, obedience.
there's
you
so
know?
many things that motivate us. I think about like you got professional athletes on the field,
Mhm.
and literally some of them are being motivated with just this absolute desire to win.
Mhm.
Like I think that was Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady was.
Mhm.
Some of them are just
Michael
being,
Jordan.
some of them right. Some of them are being motivated by the paycheck, and that's all.
Yeah, they just
But I
want the
mean,
money.
right? The motivations are different. Like
Mhm.
what are what?
So let's go with sports and since we're conversating with
Yeah.
with it,
Take
with
it away.
motivation. No,
Yeah.
take it away. I'm saying do halftime motivational things, do they get you? Because to me, it's just annoying. Like if I'm Rudy in the locker room or any of those, and it's like, let's go win one for the Gipper. You're like, shut up. Like I have no interest in
So like a pep
that's on
talk,
me.
you
That-
mean?
But
Is what you mean?
Yeah, I
Like-
don't need a pep talk. I don't need any
Yeah.
of that.
Even if it's like one of the harsh pep, like, because there's ranges of pep talks.
Mhm.
There's more of the Rudy one versus like,
Full Metal Jacket.
Babcock,
Mean.
Babcock
Like,
who's
get out there and
just
do your job.
screaming at you because you're
Right.
terrible and you need to pick it
Mhm.
up and do
Mhm.
better. You know, there's a range of pep talks.
Did you like them?
Well,
you
let's
played
talk-
sports.
Well, if but it's not. Pep talks is one thing,
Okay.
but I mean, when I watched the movie Rocky, now I was 16. I forget how old I was. Talk about motivation.
Mm.
I went home for the first time.
Drank raw eggs.
In the morning, I drank a raw egg. You're right. No, seriously. I got up. Now, I'm not a fighter. I was a basketball player, and we had a little basketball court in our backyard. So I thought, that's it. And I got up, drank a raw egg because I couldn't gain weight for nothing back then. And did 100 layups with my right hand,
I wish.
100 layups with my left hand before school.
Yeah.
I'm going to do
Oh,
this.
that makes my stomach hurt.
And
Got
I'm telling you,
fire.
It-
And
it lasted 3 days.
Yeah, so maybe the motivation.
Because
Raw egg.
well, that's what I was gonna say, like motivation. So, like, and share your thoughts here on this. Like, there's no right and wrong. Like,
I know.
it's competing motivations because then I was motivated to stay in bed.
that's where I live.
Yeah.
That motivation
Were
is
you motivated
wrong.
to stay in bed because you didn't want to eat a raw egg and do all that? That was
it was cold.
nasty.
It was kind of
Cold.
cold,
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it's cold.
and it was just like, why am I getting up so early?
yeah.
Mhm.
You know, the movie. But that I mean it
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
for me.
Fire.
For me,
Yeah.
I mean, that was.
I was negative one. So.
I remember like my dad, like he could spank and all that, but
Mhm.
when he would say to me, Vincent, really disappointed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
That would
Get
just
you.
hit
that
you.
was like,
Mhm.
I am being motivated. I don't want that to happen anymore. So as parents,
Mhm.
place for all motivation has to be
Yeah.
positive and loving, or is there a place for threats and punishment?
Spare the rod, spoil the
There
child.
you go. There you go. Right?
No. that's-
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any
Consequences are a
examples?
great motivator.
You don't have to take us into your house, I guess, but do you have
Yeah.
any examples you want to share of like how, like just
In
with
this
your own, with
season?
your kids,
Yeah, in this
motivating
season,
them?
we
What-
have littles right now, and Grayson is only 6.5, and we've entered our homeschooling journey in the past 6 months, and we are just now really seeing what that's going to look like. But for him, it's as kind of as easy as if you don't do this, then you don't get to go outside or you don't get to play. This is going to take you longer to do this. Or if if you're really struggling with kids and you need them to do something, a little piece of candy always helps me. And I use that to my advantage. Those are little things for little kids.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I like
And they
candy.
work.
they are.
It works
And it
for me.
works also on adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got me here tonight. I thought there was candy.
Right.
That's what motivated me.
And God says, lay up for yourselves treasures in
Mhm.
heaven.
Mhm.
Well, that's,
And when
that's a reward.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. And sometimes I'll mention, some scripture that I've gone over with him about whining, hitting, whatever. And he'll go, and I'm like, all right, maybe I'm going too hard on the,
Yeah.
The theological journey.
theological. It's just, I don't want to overdo that,
Dissertation.
but I want him to learn it and to live it and I want them to be motivated because it feels good in their heart, not because I'm
Mhm.
shoving it down their throat every day. And especially for Grayson, he has to see the good that can come from him doing good deeds for his sisters or, whatever it is.
It is relational even for a child because we do in similar fashion. It's like, we had a discussion not too long ago about something negative that happened and
Mhm.
then the consequence of that, but also not just, a consequence that even didn't come to fruition, which was if you were going to be, if that is going to be in your heart and
Mhm.
that is what you're going to convey to your sibling,
Mm-hmm.
think about the consequence of if that continues,
Mm-hmm.
where will you be when
Mhm.
you're 20?
Right.
Or 30 or
Mhm.
40? you might not have a sibling that
Mhm.
you can go to Christmas with. You might not have a sibling that you can confide in. You might not have one that actually does just love you and want to be in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are like, there's long-term
And
consequences.
that's,
you know.
I look at that as like knowledge being a motivating factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you're just saying. Like I try and look at what is that, like what kind of motivation is being described there.
Mm-hmm.
Like in John chapter 13, it's always stood out to me. You know, we jump in and want to read Jesus with the towel and the water, washing feet.
Mm.
But it begins by saying, knowing that the Father, I think, had committed all things to his hands, knowing it was what he knew
Mhm.
that motivated
Right.
him. You know, same with when we read that, you know, the joy that was set before him, you know, endured the cross and the pain.
Right.
And now that's a good point you're making,
Mhm.
that you're giving your kids a sphere of knowledge
Mm-hmm.
that can bring about a motivation,
Mhm.
because I hadn't thought about that.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the you know, I guess I could talk about my dad easier because he's with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're talking about your dad; he's still here.
Probably.
You know,
Could be listening.
Yeah.
You know? Want to
My
be
dad's not
careful.
here nor with the Lord. Hi, I'm Bill Murray.
all right, okay.
Oh my goodness, Bill. Bill.
So
Set him up to just knock him down.
I'm sorry.
we do believe that he who has the Son has life, and he who does not have the Son does not have life. And that, we're not going into that topic right now, but
But
my dad,
Clarify.
because I was raised by my dad,
Mm-hmm.
his motivational tools worked on me.
Mm.
And I watched him one day try to apply them to our husband, to my son, Vince.
Mm.
And my dad he would often, you know, but you grew up used to it. He would paint a scenario that you were kind of get you either
Mhm.
irritated or to stir you.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
remember one day him coming to Vince and saying, "Hey, Vince, you know, the whole family's waiting for it to kick in with you, waiting to just waiting to see when is Vince going to start to
Poor
shine.
Vince.
When is Vince going to start to shine?" And I remember him doing it. And listen, my dad loved him with all his heart.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have worked with me because he knew it would make me go, oh.
Right. Right.
It didn't improve my grades later in life, but I mean, but I remember actually saying to Vince,
Yeah.
going to him and talking to him, because I thought this is a motivational tactic of my dad that
Mhm.
would work with his children because he raised us,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to have
Vince is
the
a
opposite
different-
effect
Shut
on
him
Vince.
down.
Vince is a
And
different
I was
person.
saying, you know, Grandpa loves you.
Mhm.
He's not saying all the other grandkids have succeeded and you're a failure.
Uh-huh.
That's his way of how do
How do I motivate you?
what buttons do I push? How do I poke? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is true. Like, you know, every person has a different personality. I mean, it's like what we're talking about now. Everybody's got different motivators, so
Mhm.
it is something that to be aware of. Is like, especially with children or even just peers trying to kind of work with one another in our Christian lives or just in general. Is like there are different things that people will value versus other, and you can't just take a broad stroke and be like, you know, this applies to everyone.
Mhm.
This way of talking, this way of
Mhm.
teaching.
So then
applies.
with your father, you have 5 other siblings, right?
Yeah.
So there's 6 of you. Look at me, I'm math.
Wow.
And so
proud.
did it work for everyone, or did you and
No,
Tom,
we
you and
we
Dan,
respond-
everybody respond differently?
responded
or-
differently.
Okay.
Differently, you know, and that's often going to be, you know, psychologists, I guess, will say to you, you know, the first child is going to typically respond this way and the 2nd. But I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
the fact is, I think it's good just to, as we talk about motivation, like you're
Yeah.
saying, that people all respond to different motivations. So, like,
Yeah.
there wasn't there a stretch where you were managing other salespeople,
Yes.
and did they all just motivated by money, or was it?
I mean, the majority of salespeople are motivated by money.
Mhm.
but like the idea of
Yeah, you have
pat them
to.
on the back.
Yeah.
So Lisa,
Hmm.
in her job, they had a thing that they gave out to everybody, and it was 30 different things. And then you took this motivation test, if you will,
Hmm.
and then it put in order of what motivates you. And from 1 being the top, 30 being the lowest. and it goes in order. So she took the test, and then she actually got a test for me to take. So I took it, and it didn't have anything. It didn't have anything with God or anything like that. It was purely for business.
Mm-hmm.
And her number 2, I believe, was recognition. She wants to be recognized.
Yeah.
When I took the test, it was 29th out of 30.
Really?
My number 2 was money. Hers was like
money is
17. And
So what's your number 1?
Sales,
What was
family.
family?
So for me, the reason I work, money.
Mhm.
I got a shirt a little bit, a jacket a little bit ago, had my name on it. Give me the $40,
Right.
keep the jacket.
But
I don't care.
I get
Give me
that.
the money.
But wouldn't you say inside of Bill, when you close a sale, there's the joy of
Mm-hmm.
success? Or
Because they have money.
that's okay.
Well,
I mean, honestly,
as in the restaurant business, when you get your tip back from the customer, you're like, if it's 20%, I know I did my job. If it's above that, clearly we had a great rapport. And if it's below that, well, they're dumb.
Mhm.
Well, how about
Not on
I
you.
love it.
how about if they wrote a little note saying, "Thanks so much for
We're
you're
poor.
one of the best."
Give me
Like-
anymore.
We have no
did
money.
personal words like that make you?
Always. Sometimes I would get a receipt, flip it over, and there would be a novel on the back.
No way.
Because I was very personable with the table
Yeah.
if they allowed me to be.
So
I
let's
wasn't-
go. Let's go honest, Katrina.
Yeah.
Katrina, you were the greatest. We thank you. We've never had a better one. Here's $3. You
I'm
still
probably
liking
going to
it?
say okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Katrina, you're a dirtbag. Here's $50.
Okay, all right.
Here's $50.
I'm probably going to choose that one over the other one.
100%.
But
You're doing a job for money, right?
sure.
That's your motivation.
Yeah,
That's
but that
yours
wasn't,
is a
that wasn't my
ministry.
motive. Like my motivation is money
for when you work.
at work,
Mhm.
but also at work.
Okay.
It's
You like
it's-
the recognition?
I mean, I like recognition, but it's not
Well, you're doing a great
that's
job.
not
dude.
really high on the list. It's more about accomplishment, personal accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did that thing. It was challenging. I was able to accomplish it.
Mhm.
And money is like I'm supposed to get paid for it. I wouldn't be doing that if
Right,
I wasn't getting
right.
paid.
Right.
So that
But-
could be anywhere.
But and it could be
just
it could be
depends. Yeah.
me and why I wasn't a great salesman or something. But when my first job was, meaningful job was being an admissions counselor at Philadelphia
Mm.
College of Bible. We had a team of 5 of us that I loved going to work with that group. Now they were paying me like $8,500 a year. This was 1985.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, 84.
So you're making good money.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
and that wasn't like
You
it's
weren't
not
in
like
college at the time?
nowadays. I had graduated.
Oh, you're already
Yeah,
graduated.
it's not like nowadays that would be $170,000. No,
Right,
it
right.
would be like
be like 30,000.
it'd be like 20. You know?
Yeah.
But my point is
Yeah.
that, like that's again just like it's funny what you're bringing out because I am
Mhm.
somebody who relational is very meaningful. Not
It is-
like
it
not
is
like
very
oh no. Years ago, I was going to get off into this because I'm now going to get all twisted thoughts.
No,
like how we when we're kids, we're motivated by hundreds of different things.
Mm,
Yeah.
You
right.
punch me in the face, I'm motivated to punch you back.
Mm.
You tell me I'm ugly, I'm motivated to not talk to you like that. But what I
And
mean
punch
is,
you in the face.
but yeah,
I think it's just funny how fast you say, you think I'm ugly? I want to punch you in the face.
yeah.
You don't like me?
Yeah. Well,
I don't wanna
it
talk
could
to
be.
you.
I mean, it makes sense.
You touch my things, I kill you.
Yeah.
That's out of a John Candy movie. Anyhow,
That's funny.
but particularly as believers, we
Mhm.
learn and start to learn about ourselves, right? So for me, and I want you to think about yourselves here too, because I'm going to put you on a spot. For me, I was a guy who I remember my dad telling me this and me wanting to fight it, but realizing he's right. As a teenager, 100 people are in the room. I get up and do something. 99 go, yeah. One's going, boo. I'm
Like,
fine.
what? Are
Why?
you kidding me?
And I've learned that can't be my motivation. And like, would you say there was in your more immature days that there was something that was a motivating factor for you,
Mhm.
pleasing other people, getting people to like you, or
Yeah.
shame? I don't know. Like that you've had
Yeah.
to learn to say,
Yeah.
that can't be a motivator for me.
Sure. Being the best
Yeah.
within my field when I was in that field of the restaurant business. I needed to be in the top 3 servers. I needed to be asked to be a trainer. I wanted to be asked to be in management because I wanted them to think that I was that good. And now, it's quite a different life. But I wanted to be the one that they picked.
Yeah, but how do
Yeah.
you handle that? Like, you're a mom, like a full-time mom, which is a job.
Mm-hmm.
But like, don't you think you have a little bit of that there?
A little bit.
too, right?
Mhm.
I mean, obviously you want to be a good mom, but like,
Mm-hmm.
are you looking for recognition as a result of that?
In some ways, Yeah.
Who?
still.
We've talked about
I'm
like
still
Grayson.
wondering.
we've
Yeah.
talked in the past even just about,
But like on the one hand, I'm sorry, and I'm
no,
interrupting you.
no.
At homeschooling, I don't have early readers. Grayson is still not reading fully. We're still learning letters. So in my mind, a motivator for me as a homeschooling mom is early readers. They need to be, because for so long, for so many decades, we had a homeschooling families that their kids were graduating at, 15 years old. You would hear about that. This was back when I was in school, and now it's a lot different now. But so part of that motivation for me is wanting to get them academically successful so that I can show other people, look, I'm doing this. Like I can do this. And,
Well, as a
we're not at the place where I would like to be, but that's because it looks a lot different than I
but when you
anticipated.
search your motivations as a
Mhm.
believer, the part is, because we all have this,
Mhm.
to be honest with our motivations, is there are a lot of parents in America today forking out thousands of dollars on their kids,
Mhm.
not because their kids want it, but
Yeah.
because the parents are being
Got
motivated
some goal.
Right.
inside. I want my kid to
Mhm.
be I want the recognition of, look
Mhm.
at my kid as a soccer player. So
Right.
I'm paying $2,000 a year for him to have a personal trainer.
Right.
And I think it's okay to look at yourself and say, am I being motivated by what others will think?
Mhm.
Or am I being motivated by what is best for my child?
Yeah.
Because well, you guys would agree, like we all struggle with these things, right? We've got
Absolutely.
these tainted
Yeah.
motivations.
I've had to take a big steps back many times to remember the why I'm doing this, and like
I do
remember
that all the time.
that on a consistent basis, remember why you're doing this. You're not doing this for any other reason other than I have been called that I want to do this. My walk with the Lord has been strengthened through it.
Mhm.
And I want to teach them, so many different things about that. And so that's my why. And so I have to remember it's not just to push the academics down their throat because they're not going to respond to that anyway.
It actually changes from when you're growing up, like everything is so about self.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's all it is.
Mhm.
It's not about your parents. It's not about your
Mhm.
peers. Like you're in the mix with your peers strictly to be liked and be probably the top normally.
Mhm.
That's all that matters. Am I good at skateboarding? Am I good at sports? Am I
Mhm.
good at video games? Am I like, what is it that sets me apart from my peers?
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
that matters. So, especially as a Christian growing up, like when you start actually taking hits as a young adult and then into full adulthood, your actual mind started shifting to like, oh, wait, like having this person in my life makes a difference. And here's why.
Yeah.
That person makes me better for this reason.
Mhm.
And oh, by the way, I'm way too self-centered. I'm living because of God. And like
Mhm.
things start shifting. Like I think your mindset has to start shifting. And obviously this is from a Christian's perspective,
Yeah,
but
which
like
is what we
God
want.
is the
Yeah.
motivator and
Mhm.
we're supposed to,
Right.
it's all for him.
Mhm.
And then from there, what can you do through me? And what's
Mhm.
that actually supposed to look like? Which is like where like, I think stewardship comes
Right.
in and
Mhm.
all that kind of
And
thing.
I think what you said is terrific, because really, like I could say, he punched me, I punched him back, this, that. But like if you narrow it all down, it's I'm being motivated by self,
Mhm.
Mhm.
promotion of self,
Mhm.
protection of self. But as a kid, you don't have, and I think that's one of the things is when parenting is to recognize your kid
Mhm.
doesn't have a lot of resources to draw
Mhm.
upon.
Mhm.
And they don't even know that. Like
Mm.
their world is so small.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you don't even have that concept.
So my motivation to lie was I didn't want to experience I didn't want to be punished.
Yeah.
Or
So-
sometimes I feel like they don't even know. They're just like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't do it. They
Yeah.
don't even realize what
it
they're
was
trying-
Audrey.
Yeah, right.
But that's so even growing as a pastor, like I'm very different than years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not out externally, but inside.
Mm.
There's I can say this by the grace of God. There's no longer this sense of I want people to think I'm a great pastor. I want people to I want to be who God wants me to be.
Mm-hmm.
But that part, which had a when you're as a pastor, I can.
Did you have a time where you felt like you wanted to be like
It can just
touch reach every soul?
Well, I think
the most positive way.
I wish it was that pure and right.
Okay.
It's more like when you begin as a pastor and church started with 10 people, we got 3,000.
So it's like a numbers thing.
And I for example, like as when I was a new pastor, if I just preached on like not taking vengeance, and then somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, did you hear what Chuck Smith spoke about not taking vengeance?" I'd be like, "Preached on that last week."
Right.
Now, I honestly, by the grace of God, I'm not motivated by them needing to think
You're the source of truth.
Yeah,
you know,
I
or
just
information.
fantastic. That's great, but
Yeah.
and if hopefully God used me to get somebody
Mhm.
else's
Mhm.
attention,
Mhm.
that kind of thing. But I do think that like the motivation aspect, I think it's really valuable for us. And I would say this to any of our listeners. Like one of the things I was hoping from this topic
Mm-hmm.
was for people to be willing to do the work of looking at what motivates me,
Mm-hmm.
because it sometimes you sit and you do, and I end up going, wow. The reality is it's coming back to my sin nature. I'm being motivated there by fear.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Fear.
so, for example, right? You got Peter, who's eating with the Gentiles, right?
Mhm.
It was when Paul confronts him, right? What was it? He's eating with the Gentiles,
Yeah.
and now we got a different group of the legalists or whatever to come in, and Peter won't eat with them anymore.
Mm.
Right.
And obviously, his motivation there was
Optics.
Mm.
and I just I think it's so valuable to sit and think through that. And I don't want to just keep going off, but I mean like
it's fine.
that
Yeah.
sense of, that's why when I said something about, I remember watching something years ago, Devil's Own or something, maybe with Harrison Ford and Pitt.
Keanu Reeves. Oh, Brad Pitt.
And like seeing like where a terrorist, if you're a kid and somebody breaks in your door and shoots your dad in the head, well, and now, no, what I mean, I'm sorry, that you didn't see that movie. Anyhow.
Again, I was rooting for it.
I'm not gonna watch it now.
No.
On that note, we're going to take a break.
God.
Talking about the love of God. No, but what I mean is, and you see how like that became the motivating force of his whole life.
Well, yeah.
was now to get back at
That's
them.
Right. Vengeance.
traumatic.
And I've learned
But
in my own,
vengeance is God.
I've seen it in my own life sometimes. Like what I was happy, I was joyful. I looked at a few stories, and I'm all, why? Oh, because I want people to believe what I believe, or I want people, and they're not gonna. And I can't be motivated by having people agree with my thoughts and all. And I literally have to search my motive. What motivates me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I just watched my disposition change.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or did you really want to go to a break?
I really do.
Oh.
Want to go to a break. I mean,
Then just say so, Bill.
I was, but it was. I don't want to cut him off.
No, you
in the
gotta let
point
him
of
finish his
shooting
thought.
somebody in the head.
Well, you did.
What I really want to say is,
Welcome to Emmanuel Baptist Church, where our focus has been building strong lives in Jesus Christ since 1925, right here in Maple Shade, New Jersey. With 2 Sunday services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., you can choose the time that works best for you. And if you have children, our Greenhouse Kids Ministry and Nursery are available during the 11 a.m. service, so you can worship without distractions. But that's not all. On Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., we offer Sunday school classes for all ages. And if you're looking for a midweek pick-me-up, we have a variety of events on Wednesday nights. For more information on all of our programs and events, visit our website at ibclife.org. Follow us on social media and check out our weekly bulletin. And there's one more way to stay connected with us. Download our Church Center app. With this convenient app, you can stay up to date on all of our events and register for programs. Emmanuel Baptist Church, building strong lives in Jesus Christ.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I just really quick want to say before we get into the rest of this topic of motivation that this is actually our 52nd episode.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
So that means exactly 1 year. This is
Yay.
the 1 year episode.
Are we allowed to
Get out of
say
town.
that, hey, we're grateful for people that listening? And
Oh, yeah. No, we're not allowed to say that.
no, that
No,
No,
we
please
got
don't,
some.
don't let people know how
No, that we
great
got
we
some
are.
good grades. We got
We
some.
did.
Yeah.
We got some recognition from Spotify, and people like us and they listen to us, and
Which is really motivating us.
it
to
motivates us.
keep
It
going.
actually does. Let's go. It does. It does. If I was sitting here and we got 3 listeners a week, I probably would stop doing it. I got to be honest. I'd be like, these
Not-
are my friends, and how I look at it is, this table is a group of friends talking. We're inviting the listener in.
Mhm.
They're like at the table with us. They're just not allowed to talk. We don't want to
That's how we like it.
The best kind of friend at the table.
And like
Hey,
we
The
were
one
saying,
who's not
join us.
allowed to talk.
Have a seat.
we were
Don't
saying
talk.
about
Don't,
growth.
don't call us.
Yeah.
We don't need it. You can comment, but
We
we're not
do get
gonna
comments.
listen. We do get it.
And like
we
you
actually
said,
get a lot of comments.
The growth aspect, like 25 years ago, if we got negative comments, it would have had a motivational force to it.
Mhm.
If I get motivated comments now, negative comments, it doesn't motivate me to change in any way because I've
Mhm.
my source of motivation has gone a different direction.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and
I love the podcast. I could do without Bill.
I told you we should put that.
I know.
right
I want
here.
that.
Yeah.
I want it.
Come on.
Well,
Hi.
That
Well,
whole
let's
sign,
go
that
in,
whole sentence.
Yeah,
that sign.
absolutely.
well,
Let's get some tears here. Let's bring in the
it has
tears.
motivated us to start a new podcast
Yeah.
outside of Bill.
Yeah.
Be way better.
Inside the sanctuary.
No,
With-
I
without-
They'll bring up some
I
tears.
said something about
So,
my dad,
here
and
we
I
go.
gotta say, no, my dad was a tremendous motivational force in my life, and some of it was intentional. Like he, his big thing was security, like build security in your kids' lives, build consistency, and it provides a basis for motivation. But I'm grateful. I'm gonna obviously thank him forever for the
Mhm.
motivational factors he has been in my life. I still hear him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's still. But the day that we had snow in the parking lot and Greg was away or something, and I'm sitting there and I'm realizing, okay, there's nobody. Like I have to make a decision. Are we open? And I said to somebody, all I know is I keep hearing my dad from heaven going, "Of course you're open.
Yeah.
Of course."
It's just a little snow. Come on.
The picture that was posted, is that really you standing in the parking
Yeah.
lot? I thought it was photoshopped.
No, that was me
That
standing
was
in
you.
the.
Who
Bill
took
just
it?
plopping
I think
things right in the middle
Christine-
of the.
No.
Okay.
She went to the other end of the parking lot, and I was standing there so that you would
Wow.
capture the flakes.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
when
What
we
picture
talk
are we
about
talking
That
about?
motivated me
what
to go to
you
church.
didn't see on Facebook, I
You
was
didn't
standing
see
in
it?
the snow, and I said, "We're open."
He's standing there,
Yeah, he doesn't have
arms wide
Facebook.
open.
He doesn't help us at all on social
I
media.
don't have Facebook.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
That's all.
What
I-
motivated you to stay out of Facebook?
Yeah.
These are good.
There's a. I have an answer. That would.
So going back to motivation.
And
Yeah.
yeah, because when we talk, what are some of the ways that, what are some of the different avenues that you would say God uses to motivate you?
So I talk about money as far as work wise,
Right.
but I love helping people. Like
Mhm.
it's something that does
You do.
motivate me.
I've noticed.
It's something that
At least once you've gone and gotten us a humidifier.
at least once-
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
it's probably twice.
No. I'm just
Okay.
saying. No. You wait. The way you said it. I don't want the recognition. I was laughing that you said at least once.
Yeah.
At least one.
That's true.
No,
that Bill likes to help.
Yeah.
I do like to help people. That does motivate
Why?
me. I don't know.
It just makes you feel good.
It makes me feel good. Yeah,
You can
does.
say it, Bill.
It
Perfect.
Say it. You can say
I
it.
feel good when I help others.
There you go.
No, and I enjoy that. My family motivates me.
Mhm.
Doing ministry in the church,
Mhm.
this motivates me.
So,
I
but if you
do-
go, so let's dig a little deeper.
Mhm.
Let's deep dive.
oh,
We're deep
we're gonna deep dive.
See, that was
DD.
from the. Were you here during COVID?
DD.
Yeah.
When he did those interviews. Did you ever interview him?
I never was on there.
He wasn't.
He hated me back then.
Mm.
It's all right.
back
though.
then.
It's all right. Then.
Back then.
Actually, apparently, right now. Yeah, that's true. I don't even know why I'm here.
But it's about it.
No, we love each other. We're just kidding.
But
we're good friends.
what,
Please.
when you're
I
saying
don't
that
need
though,
any
to help
heat
people,
on that.
what is it? Is it? So what you're really saying is you're being motivated by, like in other words, Paul would say, it's the love of Christ that can strengthen us.
Correct.
So your motivation really is either what maybe all of it, what Christ has done for you.
Yeah.
Seeing him say, well done, or just wanting to bring him glory. You know what I mean? Those are
Yeah.
all. And so when you say I'm motivated by wanting to help people,
Yeah. I don't
anybody
need
in the world could say
recognition,
that, but
though.
your motivation is coming from the fact that God has placed within you this call,
Yeah.
which is your real motivation is to bring whatever I do, eat or drink, to do all things to the glory of God.
Right. But I don't want the recognition. I don't want any of that stuff. I prefer just I like to help. Just, hey, I can see a need
Yeah, like you help and move on.
and
Like,
move
hey,
on.
great,
Yeah.
glad. And then
Good.
you're literally on.
And then we,
What else do
you know, and
need,
I,
or-
yeah, I
Do
don't
it.
care about any of that. Now, my main motivation in life is I do get fueled by hate.
Yeah.
Like I like
Well-
when people don't like me, and that's something I've had to work on. 'Cause
Yeah.
I do like playing the
Yeah,
villain.
you don't, right.
I do. I enjoy the
Mhm.
Andy Kaufman. I'm the villain.
Mm.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, maybe that's even worse, but
The psychologist.
It's not
on that
weird
one.
at all.
yeah, right.
Well, I was going to say, what do you guys think? What are they all the? Yeah. What's a
I
more
love when we
All
throw
right.
you into this like.
Sorry.
well? What's a more powerful motivating factor? Like I think we would all just say love, but I
Yeah.
mean, like hate is a motivational factor. Anger
Yeah.
is a strong motivator.
Mhm.
That was, and I think that's what I'm talking about. I had to look at my life back in certain areas, like with sports, whatever, where anger, was
You talk a lot about your past being angry.
yeah.
Man, you're an angry.
It's funny because
Not now,
Listen,
obviously.
I would tell
Calm
my
down.
kids. I'm sorry, you keep going. I didn't mean to cut
No,
you.
no, you're fine.
Were you going to say something nice about me? I thought.
No,
I
no, you can go.
Dig yourself a hole. It's
No,
fine.
but I remember
I just
my.
mean, you talk about you
it
having
was-
a temper and,
It was
anger.
such a dominating force in my life. Now, again, we go back to what you were saying, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sin of self.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I was mistreated. That was unfair toward me, whatever. But anger was a driving force. But it didn't consume my life.
Mm.
But it probably was like my mother would say, Vince, you walked in a room and
Yeah.
you lit up the room. Everybody was happy.
Oh,
You were
I
happy.
feel
But,
good today.
but she said,
Is it-
but when you got angry, and I would say to my kids, I remember like when they were teenagers and I could talk more about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think one day I impersonated like when I would, and they were like, we
Stop.
we can't even, they started laughing, I think, like as if I
Yeah.
was acting. I'm saying, you don't understand. I can taste those feelings of
Mhm.
rage
Mm.
and what I was, and the motivation, sinful motivation to do something incredibly destructive to somebody, painful. But it competed with the motivation of self-preservation. I don't want to get punished.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Right.
want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
know.
and I think as a believer, the good thing, and again, I'm going to say to your listeners, like, don't be afraid to search your heart. What's motivating me? I just yelled something mean to my wife. Was I being motivated by, I don't feel like I'm getting affirmation from her or the boss at work. But I think it's good to search your motivations, because ultimately we're trying to say, as and you touched on it again, where do we bring it all back? You know, nobody knows the human mind and psyche like God. And so he says to us, you know, if you're motivated by how others feel about you, know this. Let's replace that with, I have chosen to value you. And so I think you've heard me share that. And I know it's preacher Vince here now, but in my sermons that's where your sense of identity has to begin, because mine didn't begin there naturally, you know what I mean? But it has, the more that becomes, yes, I have value. If everybody in the room now, like if everybody on a Sunday stood up and said, we think you're the worst, I'll be okay. Now,
you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. Yes,
you would be okay if everybody stood up and was like,
I don't,
"You're the worst."
I didn't mean, you don't have to cut this out. I'm being genuine.
You know, I wouldn't.
I'm being genuine. I would be like, "Wow, that's disappointing." But what I mean is,
disappointing. It would hurt.
In my heart with God, I'd be able to go, "All right, Lord,"
because you're true to yourself.
And I don't mean, I'm not
you
saying
wouldn't know the why.
Yeah.
That's
not
not
saying
what
like I'm on elevated level.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, like, you're not saying that you wouldn't question it.
Yeah.
But you might be, I would think that you'd be a little bit hurt after all of the work that you've put in. That's, I think, when I look back, like, I think if I look back on something like that, I have thought that, where it's like, I did all of this, and then now what? Like, what was that then for? And I actually have to, because sometimes I don't think how God is using me in the moment. And then when that changes or shifts or disappears, then I'm like, well, what was that all for? I can't really see the forest for the trees sometimes. And I have to actually search again and be like, okay, I see, God, where you were there, and I see why, you know,
and that you searching with that it crosses with my motivations, because I sit there and think, man, I want Steve to feel good about him. I'm being genuine. I'll be sometimes I'm like, what can I do to just kind of, because I'm not like thinking, oh, as long as I say something, it'll just make their day. But in general, I'll be like, and I've learned that to do it still affirm, but I've learned to say, Lord, like, where Steve really needs that is inside, and you just meet, you tell him, you show him how valuable he is. Have somebody send him a card, have somebody, like, because the funny thing is, I'll hear people say, boy, Steve Ensel, so he's great. Oh, I love it. My favorite Sunday was when him and Nate were up there together, you know, like that kind of thing.
That was my favorite Sunday too.
Yeah. Yeah. But those, mean those factors, I guess,
Bill wants to make a joke.
Go ahead.
No, okay.
I called you.
Steve,
out. Sorry.
Steve is great. Everybody loves Steve.
Bill's great.
Yeah.
Hard for me to say this, but Bill's great.
Thanks,
Love
buddy.
But he doesn't want recognition.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
No,
Yeah.
it's kind of true, I guess.
But it is true. Like, you try to find ways to insert joy into people's lives. And, you know, my family's experienced that in the time we've been here. Not just with you either. Like, I think it flows through you and your family, because your whole family is that way.
Yeah.
And it's a real testimony, I think, to you, and then of course your parents. And that really is evident. But not only that, though, I think that goes over to the rest of the people in the church. Like, I mean, Bill specifically and Lisa, huge parts of our life.
Yeah.
But like, that was like a thing where I remember thinking, like, this was crazy. Like, I would talk to Bill years ago. It was nothing more than like, hey, I saw you last year. Hey, I saw you the year before.
Yeah.
How you doing? And then it, like, all of a sudden it was just like very random from my point of view. And I think yours, where it was just like, I'm going to call Steve. And then there you go. It kind of starts. So I think it's, God has brought you from a place in your life where you were angry and your motivations were very sinful. And it's not to say you're sinless. It's just that as you've grown, wisdom has grown and your emotions in Christ have grown in such a positive way that is how God uses your motivation.
And that's why I wanted to
your
talk,
church,
that's
you know?
really what I wanted to talk about this was not about me, but about that as you are willing to look at your motivations with Christ.
Right.
And let him.
How can he use that?
Like I said, there's nothing wrong. Listen, if I give you a present, I want you to like it. And there's nothing wrong with feeling good that I want you to like the present.
Right.
The difference, but our journey with Christ, it's kind of like, all right, like, I can go back 35 years in pastoring and know that sometimes when I was affirming people, it was hard for me to know, am I doing this so that they'll like me? But I was willing to look at my motivation and say, wait, and be able to say, no, I genuinely want them. I'm not going to blow smoke at them and tell them they're a great singer if they can't sing. But I want to. You are right. You guys all know that. There is that. I want to somehow be used. Like if you said, when you die, well, I don't know. Does this come out right? I would like people to say he made us feel better about ourselves. That kind of thing.
Right. You want to be motivating to other people. So I think.
Don't worry, I'll die before you. The reason Steve and I are friends, I guess, or that random whatever, is because you said no. Lisa got sick, couldn't make it to Paul McCartney. I asked you, can you go? You said no. I asked a couple other people.
I was literally low on the list.
Oh, you were low on the list because I was like, this guy likes music. He was always nice.
Funny.
And so Ethan, Violet, and Steve and I went to see Paul McCartney. Wow. And then we kind of just hit it off. And
there you go.
And that's when it all started.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
But no, it's keep taking the time to humble yourself and sit before the Lord and look at your motivation. Because in your marriage, you're motivated by wanting your spouse to love you. But as you grow in Christ, that motivation has to turn to, how can I love my spouse?
One of the things that you're reminding me of is like my dad. I remember one time I had been expressing to him how it's a pretty like bad season in my life. And then look at how God just turned things around. I didn't see it coming, didn't know, but God provided. And I remember my dad saying like, you really should write that down. And I'm like, write what down? And he's like, the blessing that God gave you, because so you can reflect back on it and remember how good he was in a time where you doubted or just couldn't see. And I think like that also began to form different motivations, more Christ-like motivations in my life, to remember like, okay, you have to be intentional about your walk with Christ. And like you're saying, it's digging deep and figuring out what really does motivate you. And little habits like that, I think, go a long way to kind of shaping your thought and shaping your development, is just intentionality in those ways. And and I started getting these little 3x5 notebooks, and you just write down, when that happens, boom.
I wrote down some of Grayson's pneumonia stories so that I could go back and be like, oh, we haven't had pneumonia now. Right. Or I journaled some of Vivi's NICU journey so that you can remember, because you forget, not very much, but you do forget that time, that when you're just, down to the foundation of who you are, how close you are with God at that time, because it's all you have is just you and him and whatever, crisis that you're looking at. And as the further you move from the crisis, you kind of can forget the goodness that came from that and how much you grew and how much now I'm starting to get teary-eyed talking about that.
We knew it was coming.
I remember calling my dad on the phone and walking out in the hallway and being like, I can't be this for her. I don't know how to do this. I'm watching her and I I can't pick her up. I can't do anything.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
that-
leave this for her. And he said, you have to.
Right.
Like, you have to do this for her. You're her mother. And I turned back around and I went inside, and I never doubted myself again after that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So-
we did it.
Story.
Of course it's me.
Oh, no,
But
every
another-
single one of
Hold
us.
on. Let me think of something. I'll get the tears going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Steve,
it's
nobody
funny
likes
because it,
Oh, never mind then.
I said to her,
What do you?
walking, and I don't know if we touched this on another podcast, walking into that same hospital room,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I say this, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
I had no connection with Vivian. I have had no relationship with her yet. Wasn't in my body. I wasn't, I'm not her.
Mm-hmm.
All of my connection was her and Vince.
Mhm.
So all of my motivation was
Was
being
through us.
driven by
Yeah.
you guys,
Mhm.
while yours was being driven for her.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that how much can be happening at one
Mhm.
time
Mhm.
in a room. Pastor Greg has said to me sometimes that he says, we walk into a room and he says, it's almost like, and he says, he said to me, and I've appreciated it very much. He's helped me. He says, it's a great quality of yours and it's a bad quality of yours. Like you just soak up what is everybody feeling in the room.
Mhm.
And he says, and oftentimes it's helped you deal with things that he was like, I'm like, I didn't even know they were feeling that way, but you sense it. And other times it's prevented me from just like, it's
Mhm.
dominated me.
Mhm.
And
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, the diverse motivations that we say, okay, Lord, now I want to take it all the way back to,
Yeah. Oh, well,
go ahead.
and one thing that I've learned from you is something that motivates me is motivating other people
Yeah.
through text
Yeah.
or a call or a card, or, not forgetting who you're close with and sending them a text, because I've gotten it from you and saying, hey, I think you're great. Like,
'Cause you are.
whoever it is,
You are great.
yeah. And so motivating other people can
Good job.
motivate me,
Right.
and that's helpful as
That's
well.
cyclical.
To do
Yeah.
that.
And from that crisis,
Mhm.
it stays with you. So if you hear Vivian or Grayson coughing,
Mhm.
you're motivated to protect,
Mhm.
swarm or whatever. And as they grow,
Mhm.
you're going to have
shift.
to
Mhm.
shift it to this sense of, okay, Lord, that's my motivation.
Yeah.
Now you want to use it to show me I have to surrender. So now
Mhm.
I want to be motivated by surrender instead of protection. And it's not,
Not easy.
no,
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
That's why you have a daily walk with Christ, though.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Mhm.
can't
Exactly.
really actually survive it without him. And then
No.
you actually feeding into other people
Mhm.
would then normally allow them to be able to feed into you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why community is so important,
Mhm.
because
Yes.
if you're not actually making connections or
Mhm.
reaching out, no one has a clue how to help you.
Right.
No one has
Yeah.
a clue what you're going through.
Mhm.
Your motivations might be, in one hand, to motivate everyone else,
Mhm.
but then who's motivating you?
Mhm.
And how does that work? And,
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, like, I'm motivated by Bill in different ways than I'm motivated
Yeah.
by you and Vince,
Mhm.
you and Greta, my parents, my
Yeah.
siblings. Like, there are different things. And so when you introduce certain people into your lives
Mhm.
intentionally, it should be for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how you can kind of get fed and then
Yeah.
realize it's all for the glory of God.
Mhm.
And you helping them is them helping you, and
Yeah.
all of you helping and praising God, so it's pretty cool how it's just
And,
kind of
and
like,
you just
Yeah.
effectively described the writer of the Hebrews said,
Mm.
don't forsake assembling yourselves together so that you can do what? Stimulate one another to good works. I mean, you
Right.
just basically described that whole picture of like what,
Mhm.
that we fellowship community does bring motivation.
Mhm.
Right.
And particularly if it's a community that's centered on Christ,
Mhm.
I was thinking about like Pastor Greg, what he was saying last week, I guess, or not this past.
What
Sunday,
about
but the
something
one
I
prior.
said? I'm kidding.
I'll get to that on the
No,
next
Steve,
episode.
I'm joking.
How dare you,
Folks, I
Steve.
really am joking.
Yeah. Well, he already brought it up, James. So
Yeah.
I was just going to leave it
Yeah,
at that. So, no, but I said this actually last time with Bill, was just that, and Katrina, was that he had mentioned how long are you spending in your Bible, and if you had
Mhm.
spent
Yes,
X amount
I
of
remember
time in
that.
your
I
Bible, then
remember
how
him
much
saying
better
that.
and closer would you be with Christ?
Mhm.
And I have actually been thinking about that. Like, what is the motivation? What would drive you to get into your Bible that much?
Right.
Right? Because an hour alone
Mm-hmm.
would feel like a slog
Right.
for
Mhm.
probably most people.
Right.
Right.
Now say 2 hours, you know,
Mhm.
a day. I can't like, I understand that some people can put more time into that without distractions.
Mhm.
So I get everybody's in a different spot, and
Right.
some is more feasible than others.
Mhm.
But I started thinking about that actually when we were thinking about this podcast, was like,
Mhm.
what would motivate somebody to just say, you know what, I am doing this and I'm doing it for an hour a day or whatever,
Mhm.
consistently.
Yeah.
What would have to drive you for that? Would it be the
Yeah.
accomplishment of saying you did it?
Right.
Would it genuinely, hopefully, be your desire to grow your relationship with Christ,
Yeah.
or your guilt
Yeah.
because all of your peers
Those
are
all-
doing it,
they're
but you're
all
not?
Yeah.
You know,
Or you haven't been,
right?
and you feel
So I was thinking about that, and what could you imagine if everybody did that
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
church
Yeah.
consistently? You know,
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no answer to it, but just
No,
a thought.
but it's good stuff. I
Well,
appreciate everybody.
That's the perfect way to end. So we'll keep going.
Because Bill's got a few comments.
Well, no, but I wrote down something when we came up
Yeah.
with it, and it was just a story. It has nothing to do with that.
you wrote a
That-
story.
No.
Oh.
I have a story.
Oh.
But so
Yay.
when
Take
when
us out with the story, Bill.
it's not great. No. I want your opinions on it.
Okay.
So, again, I'm in sales. So sales, you two idiots. So sales.
You're motivating me to be better, Bill.
I
You're
hope
motivating me to
so. Want to go home?
want to go to bed.
So I go to get the oil changed in our car. And again, I'm in sales. The boss I have right now, he's like, you guys are professionals. Go do your job.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't
Mhm.
care. He doesn't do these, okay, we're all going to put our hands in or whatever.
Right.
But I'm getting the oil changed in my car, and it's early on a Saturday morning. And they have a sales meeting at the dealership where I'm getting the oil changed. And
nice.
I am sitting there and I can see into their sales meeting.
Oh boy.
And it was literally one of these like, we're all going to go out there and we're going to sell some cars today. Cars. And everybody's screaming and high-fiving. And I'm thinking,
Oh,
that is the worst life
Worst.
ever.
Oh,
ever.
Like,
I would rather be on welfare.
I hear that. I hear that. I would die to myself every day, dude.
Collect the check,
When
man.
you- when you-
Collect the break. Kick me in the leg. I can't do this.
when you do your church meetings or deacons meetings, do you guys get rah-rah, or do you motivate them with a
No.
nice speech? How do I know?
Of course not.
No, I
These are grown professional
no,
men.
I think
That would
No,
be
it's-
immature.
it's
I
funny.
feel.
'Cause it's funny. That's a
No,
whole
even-
different topic. Because
even the church
I've at
man.
times felt like
Yeah.
guys that come when they come on the board, are they disappointed in me because I don't spend a lot of the meeting like molding men.
Mhm.
We deal with it. Okay, what do you got?
They're grown. They should be
Business.
molded already.
Yeah.
No, but again, everybody has different motivations.
Yeah.
Some of these
That's
guys
true.
come in there and,
Mhm.
you know,
The
That-
way
that-
Vince
you-
comes home.
You would
no.
have to be.
My Vince, not this one.
Wait till I tell you what.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's no, he never did. He never
Oh,
tells me.
man. You'd have to be a specific personality type to benefit from that. And,
Yeah.
I can't see many of the guys. Any.
no, I'm even talking church staff. Like when you guys have your staff meetings.
You know
it's
them.
not- I know,
No, we
but I
don't.
don't know
Yeah,
how
sure.
they.
You're
I've
not
never
in
been in a
staff
staff
To be
meeting.
honest with you, when I watch before the game and I see one of the Eagles going, "Well, this is our house. This is our house." Inside, I'm like, I was never on.
You
it.
weren't like that.
Mm-mm.
No, I wasn't. Yeah.
So like,
No, I was. No, I never was. Like
Chirper.
I was more like if I was coaching, I was more like, all right, hey, gather up. What are the 3 things we want to focus on today?
What about in your teens?
In my teens?
Yeah.
I think when it was if the rare occasions, because I wasn't on a lot of championship teams
Mhm.
where we got to and like you're gathered, but
Mhm.
but it wasn't. mean, in college soccer, the coach would gather us.
You weren't the hype.
and he'd have us yell things. But for me, I tended to be a little more like, look, that's not going to make you better. Like you're now it might have been
wasting energy
in a moment where if I was like, there's like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
And we're in a huddle. I might be like, this is the moment, guys. This is it. This is what we read. That kind of
Yeah.
I when we were in wrestling, Mark Johnson would listen to like Metallica or Megadeth or something like that before he went out and wrestled.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I would listen to like Simon and Garfunkel and
oh my gosh.
like you know while my guitar gently weeps and just kind of get all like okay and then I would get out there. Yeah.
Mark's ready to tear some dude's head off.
I just want to just chill before I go crazy. But yeah, I mean, with sports and stuff, we would always try to. Everybody had their way of getting pumped up and and ready to go. But
not at the church.
Also, I should say, I feel like the welfare joke was a little bit overreaching.
Oh, please.
I love it.
Don't
There's
be
no
motivated
one
by feeling
that should feel bad if you're on.
You were joking about choosing to be. Everyone knows your heart for.
Right.
I know.
Katrina has a heart for anybody who
Of
She
course.
is on welfare.
Yes.
Not of their own
Correct.
doing.
Yes.
Anyway, we can move on.
Yes. let's talk about that motivation for a second.
On another podcast.
On another podcast.
All right, guys.
That'll never happen.
Please, we won't.
Love you.
Please subscribe. Please
Like,
follow.
follow.
This is the part Ethan always hates where we just ramble at the end. And
I just want to say the three of you genuinely motivate me to be a better person.
Oh, thanks.
you really mean that?
I absolutely
You
do.
too.
I absolutely do. I told you, Bill, even you.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I told
Motivation
you.
is not the first word I think of when
Yeah.
I don't think Bill Mark.
No, Bill has motivated me to kind of sometimes think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listen to him. There may be another person in the world who thinks the way he thinks.
No, I believe that's not true. There is no
Somewhere
truth
on
to
the
that.
globe, there might be another person.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace
Have
out.
a great day.